Good
hello,
afternoon.
hello.
Good morning. Good morning,
Yes.
everybody. You look amazing on
You
this
too.
Casting
Yes.
Thursday.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, and to our viewers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a jam-packed show from the inauguration to vaccines and to fashion, honey. But first, we are going to start with what's really bothering me and has bothered me for a very long time. Whose chief, who is Tedros Ghebreyesus, actually is not happy about what's going on with the vaccine distribution. And we know that it's always a very unfair share when it comes to Africa. I saw something very disturbing on the internet the other day, and it was these vaccines that were actually labeled to be going to Africa only. Just for Africa. So when I saw this article, I said, wow, it does make sense. When you're poor, you get the poorest or the least, that's on the market. And this is what we're talking about today, ladies.
Yeah, I I was a little disturbed too. However, I was so excited that the chief of the organization said in the beginning, we are coming against a moral crisis right
Yes,
now,
I agree.
where rich kids, rich communities, young people can get the vaccine. And he said only 25 people had gotten a vaccine in a certain country. He didn't want to
Wow.
put it out there. 25 compared to 35 million that have been
Sad.
distributed. And
Yes.
he was like, this is not right.
Nope.
And I was
Wow.
so excited that he called a spade a spade. I was so excited that he said it out in the public. Because usually they have these conversations behind doors.
Right.
And they don't really talk about it in the public, but he opened with it. Like, no, this is not right. We need to fix it, and we need to fix it now. But I always say, follow the money. Follow the money, because when you follow the money, you find out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
And unfortunately, that's just the way that our world works.
Yeah.
It's the have and the have not. And it's unfortunate that people that don't have won't be able to get the vaccine the way that they should be able to have access to
Yeah.
health care. I look at when our former president, Donald Trump, when he came down with COVID, he was given the best of the best experimental drugs. And unfortunately, people that I'm not going to say
He
unfortunately.
ain't had no COVID.
Yeah, let's start there.
I'm just saying, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish, but I just had to get it out there.
Well,
I had to get it out there. He ain't had no COVID.
but the thing is, people that have access to funds and have money, they have access to medications that people that are less fortunate don't. And we have to put a stop to that because, we're in a pandemic, and we everyone needs this vaccine. Everyone that wants to take it needs the vaccine. I think everyone needs to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
I think the entire thing is sad. And what happens is when you think of drug companies, they actually get and do what they want to do. Here it is, Pfizer went ahead and they're not even giving less to countries that need it the most.
Yes.
Okay. The United States signed a $2 billion package.
That's a lot of
Now,
money.
it is a lot of money to vaccinate 500 million. Now, that's $39 for 2 doses for every single citizen.
Wow.
This is why we're having a problem, because Pfizer and the drug companies are really the ones that's making the money off of it. They're actually controlling who gets it and who doesn't. Countries that are developed really should pay, okay? But there should also be some type of stipend for companies that don't have that money.
Absolutely.
People need the vaccine.
They do.
And then when you make regulations like New Jersey is making right now and saying that if you're a smoker, you're on that list of priority to
Why?
get the vaccine, which I think is ridiculous.
When our elders should be the first one.
Exactly.
And that is what
Exactly.
and that's what's happening in Africa. But I think this has been happening for a long
Yeah.
time. And us having an African who's the chief for who, because he's from Ethiopia, I think it's going to change things. Because for a long time, Africa has been the dumping spot for all these expired drugs. And you wonder why people keep getting sick in Africa and the healthcare is just a mess. It's because of how we've been treated by first world countries.
Yeah.
So I hope Africa is going to wake up and say no to the dams. Now we move on to something very interesting. Former President Donald Trump has moved out of the White House finally. And we welcome our 46th president, Joe Biden. And he is not waiting, honey. He has already put on his plans, the 100-day. I am so excited about Joe Biden being the president.
Yes,
and some of the
absolutely.
things that he's doing, one of them that I really liked was him saying, I know, that's your favorite president. Him saying for the first 100 days, he's going to instruct FEMA to actually have all these vaccination centers across the United States
Yes.
so people can get vaccinated. So in as much as I don't agree with the vaccination, Giselle, I am really considering, but I'm not yet there. But I'm just excited with everything that he's doing, and I hope that he's going to have a team of people who are going to support him. Because for a long time, we know that Obama had resistance. So I hope people are going to support him in this.
Yeah.
I know one of the first things he signed yesterday was the mask mandate, and I think that was just fantastic that he did that. You know, if you're on any type of federal property, you have to wear a mask. And they're also trying to get 1 million vaccines a day for the first 100 days.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So that would be amazing if we all would take the vaccine.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Giselle. We're going to leave that to you.
We
You
have to
take
do
We
one.
have to see how you're
We're
going
gonna
to
do
react
that
to
later.
it.
But we have to do our part.
We do?
We do. We have to do our part. I know that we have different apprehensions, but at the same time, it's no different than a flu shot. It's no different than you taking.
I don't take that
I
either.
don't take that.
But if you had high blood pressure, would you take high blood pressure medicine?
No,
Yes,
I would.
but I don't normally get a flu, so I won't take a flu shot.
I don't know about that. I would change my diet. I would go because
If it
Candy's
was just
talking
that
about
simple for you.
It was, but I'm just saying, Candy's talk about all the time preventative medicines and preventative measures. So when you go to the doctor, they're going to tell you, I know this is not the subject, that they're going to tell you certain things that
can
you
do.
need to do so you won't get to high blood
Yeah.
pressure, so you won't get to high
But see-
cholesterol,
but
and
see-
I'll just take that route first.
Yeah, but see, in this case, we're dealing with an airborne virus.
We
something
are.
Something that the only thing you can do to prevent is to be socially distant and wear a mask. But that still doesn't. That's just a small
I
window
know,
of
I know.
protection.
You
know?
take it first.
true.
Once we
It's
vaccinate the
true.
millions, it's going to save us who are not taking the
Yeah,
vaccine.
so we're gonna
Candace, what do you
do
think?
our part and we're gonna be okay.
You
We're
do
gonna-
it
we're
and
gonna watch
videotape
make
it.
sure you're
Okay, okay.
I think for me, the most important initiative that I saw that I really like was the DACA program. I like the Path for Citizenship. I think that's extremely
good.
important. In 2017, the first person was deported.
Yeah.
And since that, we have almost 400,000 people that are a part of DACA. So these people have been sent back to their countries with no support, no family, nothing. And that is crucial right now. So
Yeah.
I love that initiative. I love that he's going to change that immediately. So that's, out of all of them, I think that was one of my number ones.
For me, honey,
Yeah.
those student loans. He signed that. We can be honest at the table.
Yes,
of course.
For me, it's those
Yeah.
student loans. He signed it to we need to extend,
Yes.
things out. So that means that $10,000 is coming soon.
Yeah.
But I hope he does what Schumer and
50,000.
Warren and Sanders want 50. I will take those $50,000.
I'm for that
President
50.
Biden.
I also like the fact
Yeah.
that he is trying his best to be a bipartisan president.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
will.
Because we need that right now. And
Yeah.
I really think that the Republicans are so secretly fed up with the tactics of Donald Trump. I believe that they're going to work with him these next 4 years.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't think they're going to work against him. I think the Republicans
Are
and the
going to
Democrats
work
are
with
going to,
him.
I think we're going to have a purple 4 years.
Well, whatever it is, we support you, Mr. President, and actually, the VP is a woman, so we're excited about that. We were going to touch on the inauguration, but we'll give you something about it in our fashion style check. So stay tuned when we come back on the break.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
There is a road
road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back, everybody. What's brewing? It is definitely Dwayne Wade's body on IG, and his kids were not having it. Listen, I looked at his body and I said, okay, but I ended there. It was a very risque photo. And if I have children on my Instagram, that's not a photo I'll put up. But
Yeah.
hey, so his kids, Zaire and Zaya, his daughter, reacted to the photo. To the point where even little Kavir actually reacted to the photo as well. So I don't know what you ladies think about that picture.
I mean, I think this is what happens when you have young parents. I mean, it's his 39th birthday. I can only imagine when I'm 39 years old, I'm still going to want to have fun. So I don't think it was anything wrong with the picture. I think his kids were just kind of teasing with him. I don't think they were really
Did you
truly
see the
embarrassed.
tease?
But I think their children are they're really tough kids, especially dealing with his daughter being transgender. I think they're really tough. So I think this was just them just having fun with their mom and dad and just teasing with them. And I like the picture. They're a fun couple. He's 39, she's 48. Yeah.
That age difference?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know
that.
that was like 10 years.
I
Almost
love
10
that
years.
they spent it in Jamaica.
Yeah, it was
Oh
in
my
Jamaica.
gosh.
Sure
Happy
was.
birthday. Happy birthday. I
Yeah.
love that. I particularly would not post that, but I do like the fact that they're showing Black love. I like the
Yeah.
fact that they're unapologetically in love and they're not afraid to show it. That part I love. Whether they think it's risky or not, they're adults. I think it's up to them. But I don't, to each his own.
Yeah.
Are those
Yeah.
pearls?
Are those what?
Pearls?
On his neck?
Yeah.
Probably so. He's different. He's different. My
Yeah,
thing
I
is,
think
he's
no,
very
he
different.
is. He's different. I didn't like the.
No, it's a B.
I like the photo.
I love it.
However, I think that they should have kept it amongst them.
In the bathroom?
Something that they could send to each other. Because when you have kids, those things don't ever go away. And you got to think, all of their kids are blue checks and stuff like that. So I like the photo. I just think they should have kept it between them. And that's it. But that's just me. Giselle, I'm serious. I do. I think they should have kept it with them.
I get it. Some people are conservative. Me
You
myself.
think I'm conservative?
No, I'm just saying some people are conservative.
No, they should have kept it between them.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I would do it.
I mean, he's fine now. He's really fine.
She'll
but
do
I
it.
just think he
No,
should've
the
kept
guy
it
is
himself.
fine, but Katrina said it well. I just would not post such a picture on Instagram. I think it's just me and having kids who are going to grow up and be somebody.
Do the
I
same
just
thing.
don't. I just don't.
But my thing is this: if women can post pictures of breast showing and booty out, like why is it? Because he wasn't
Did
really
you go all the
showing
way
anything.
down? Did you go all the way down?
No,
To
I
the
mean
photo?
it showed. Yeah, I mean it showed his
wouldn't mind seeing a
line,
little
but I
more.
don't see any. It's no different from the workout people that's on the internet. Now they don't have on no clothes; them just naked.
Girl,
maybe my mind just went
when
far.
men wear gray
So,
sweatpants, we see more in gray
Yes.
sweatpants.
Yeah,
You're
I think
right.
it's-
I
I think
think
it's
it's
a
a
double
everything in the gray
standard.
sweatpants.
Yeah,
But
I
we
agree
like,
with Giselle.
listen, I always tell them, our eyes are not broke.
Joggers,
Our eyes
Giselle.
are not, sweatpants. They are sweatpants. And when we see those pictures and they start sending them around, you be like, oh, he packing. Oh, but he's not. But either way, I'm just saying.
Oh, so you were looking, Katrina?
Girl, my eyes ain't broke.
But you know what? Yeah, I think, okay, on this one, I think I'm going
I'm not
to
looking.
retract myself. I'm going to go with Giselle because I saw a picture. I don't know if you guys know this famous African singer, Burna Boy. He was wearing silk pants, and this picture actually made rounds on the internet. If I tell you that your imagination would go that far, even if you don't want it to go that far, he was on stage shirtless, and he was wearing silk pants. And I mean, when the picture was making rounds, first of all, you're trying to see, is it the muscles or what? and then automatically
even talk.
your eyes just go to it, and you are like, Jesus.
So we're looking at someone that's in the nude versus someone that's clothed, and you actually see more with the person that's clothed.
Well, only thing I'm
With
saying
me,
is,
my mind just took me to taking Gabrielle off the front. I think my mind
I would
went
love
that
that.
far.
oh my goodness. Only thing I'm saying is, I don't mind the picture, but I think they should have
It's
kept
too
it
much.
between themselves. And the reason I think it too, because I always look a little deeper into things. Their daughter is already dealing with
A lot.
of stuff. So they're nasty people. We always say internet courage, keyboard courage. So that means people can repost that and do other stuff to it, make their faces. It's just too much that they're leaving open for other people to do, because people hate and people are hateful.
And they know
so
that,
that's
but,
all
yeah.
I'm saying.
but
I don't
they
think
know
they care.
they know people hate
I
on
would've just
them.
left it
They know
Exactly.
people constantly talk about them.
Yeah.
He's heard everything about him being gay or being
bi,
feminine,
bisexual,
They've
yeah.
heard it
everything.
all, and guess what? It just fuels
You
them
just have to
more
live
and
your
more, and they
life.
just give people something to talk
Yeah.
about, and that's all it is.
Oh, well.
This is just giving them something to talk about even more.
That's a good
Well,
point.
That's why we're
whatever.
talking about it
I
right now.
know. Well, whatever
That's why
it
we're
is
talking
with your
about it.
bathroom pictures, Gabrielle and
Thank you,
Dwayne
Dwayne.
Wade, please keep them in the bathroom, because some of us, our eyes just go that far. We'll move on to something that's educative. The National African Museum of Music has partnered with Sony to educate children, and this is in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes.
I am excited about, Nashville, Tennessee is the music city.
It is.
And for them to do something like this, because people think that if you are in Nashville, you're just going to be a country singer. But they're actually teaching these kids to learn music through the eyes of African American history.
Yes.
So I think I'm loving this, and this is some bright news for a day like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, African Americans have been like the root of music,
Of
of
everything.
American music. Period. We're really the root of it
Yes.
and it all stems from gospel music. Then it went from gospel music to blues and rhythm and blues, and then rock and roll, and now
Yep.
we have pop and rappers. It all stemmed from that. So I think they need to take students on that journey of where music in America originated. I also understand that Amazon also donated $1 million to,
Yes, Jeff
to this
Bezos.
as well.
Okay.
So I really think it's a great idea. Music has been a very, very big part of my life. You know,
Yes.
music is the soundtrack of our lives. There's
Yeah.
a song for everything.
It
There's
is.
a song for when you're
Yeah.
mad. There's a song when you're sad. A song when you get married. A song when you get divorced. A song
That's
when
so
you
true.
make love. There's music for
Okay,
everything.
so break it down for
Okay,
us.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Make
I
love.
really think this is something that if I was still in school, or I would have loved to be a part of something like this.
Oh,
I think what really stood out for me, what I really like, is the fact that Sony this year, actually no, in 2021, last year, went ahead and formed a $100 million fund for social and injustice causes when it comes to singers and writers. So when you have a company like Sony that's partnering with them in different initiatives, you're giving Black people in the arts their voice.
Yeah.
You're giving them a platform to where equality can come in. And that's so important, because we know that right now our country is so divided.
Yes.
It's going to take, like you said, music. It's going to take the love of that to
Yeah.
unite us, to give us that passion back. So, bravo to Sony, because
yeah.
they
Yes.
did that with us in mind. And $100 million is a lot for a social initiative. So I'm happy to see what happened, and I'm excited to see where it goes and how much further that'll
Me too.
increase.
And we had the privilege
Yeah.
of going to the museum
Oh, yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Amazing.
Yes,
Oh,
in DC.
wow.
And
Yeah.
it's very heavy. First, second, third.
Yeah.
But when you get to the fourth floor, that's where
Yeah.
the fun is. That's where the music is. And it was,
That was great.
absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
Fun.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was.
I mean, you can put in stuff, music will play, DJs, they had history of
Yeah.
what the music was. So I think it's important, because a lot of times our kids don't know that all of this stuff came from us.
Yeah.
Elvis
Oh, yeah.
came from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Beatles came from us. So a lot of our kids don't know that, and they need to. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sony, and thank you, Amazon, for the amazing donation. We'll be right back after the break with Style Check.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own, a place that I call home, this place that I call home. There is a road laid out for me,
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me if I'm really free. Take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back. Today on Style Check, we're talking about thrifting becoming a trend, and it's a hot one. And we're also going to VP, Madam President, whatever she is, we just love her. Kamala Harris, she wore a black designer. But first, let's jump back to thrifting. Katrina, take us to the thrift store.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait till we go to the thrift store. So, in our fashion news, thrifting we talked about yesterday, and if you didn't look at the show, you need to go back and look at it. It is a trend now, even with wealthy consumers rather. So the thing is, since thrifting is doing so well with wealthy customers, how is it affecting low-income families? Because most low-income families, I've gone in thrift stores, and this is where they do their shopping. When you go in Goodwill, they are usually full. And there are other stores too. But now wealthy customers are going into thrifting as well. So I think they just need to stop it. Don't go in Goodwill. Stay out of some thrift stores where low-income families, that's the only place that they are able to shop. Girl, guy, you got plenty of money. Go somewhere else and spend your money. But it is a trend, but I think they need to back off. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, sometimes my opinion goes to the left and to the right. So they need to back off. Go somewhere else. Go in Louis Vuitton. Y'all got it. I'll go ahead and do that.
I think when it comes to thrifting too, I think a lot of the stores are up in their prices too, because I'm a big thrifter and I love a thrift store because you find stuff that you wouldn't normally anyway, but they're raising their prices too. So even though they're taking advantage of people too that need it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that
Yeah.
people have to understand, as a business owner, you look and see who's shopping in your store.
Right,
So
yeah.
if I see you coming in and you don't mind spending money, I see a Giselle come in, I'm going to raise my prices, and even $2 and $3 makes a difference for a family that has 4 or 5 people,
Right.
and it's low income. So I think they just need to back off.
And you know what, going back to what you just said, they raise prices. And I think what needs to happen with places like Goodwill, they need to have a certain amount that they can't go past. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that wealthy people shouldn't shop there, because when
Yes,
you go to
me too.
when you go to Goodwills, they're huge.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
They are.
There's a
They're
lot to
big
pick from.
stores.
And kind of like what we talked about yesterday, people want stuff that's one of a kind, and you have a large chance of finding something that's one of a kind,
You
that's
do.
vintage.
You do.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they shop in those areas, in those type of stores. But they just don't need to go over a certain amount. They should be able to charge, and I don't think it should be taxes on it either.
I was inspired.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I was inspired by Cori Bush. She's a big thrifter, and she doesn't hide about it. She tweets about it, and
Yeah.
whatever it is. I've heard people even reply on a tweet saying, "Why are you shopping in a thrift store?" This is something that she's loved. She said, "I'm not going to go beyond what I was just because I'm now,
Yeah.
in politics." So yeah, that's who inspired me with thrifting.
And remember, a lot of wealthy people, they don't buy the way that we think they buy.
Oh, no.
They
They
don't
sure
purchase the way that we purchase.
don't. That's
We're
why they're
more
wealthy.
into the name brand and everything else. To them, it's a commodity. They're not doing that.
No.
So the thrift store is where you're going to find those wealthy
Yeah.
places. Also with the
That's why
thrift
they're
store,
wealthy.
exactly.
That's what I said. That's
but
why they're
thrift
wealthy.
stores usually have an initiative attached to it too. So they usually have a nonprofit organization. So the thrift store is not going to care one way
Oh, no.
who's spending. Unfortunately.
Right, so that's why they
Yeah.
need to be conscious about where they shop. I'm with Giselle. Go somewhere else to shop, honey. Go somewhere else. That's me. But go somewhere else. And we're going to move on to our vice president. I was about to say elect, but no, she's a vice president as of
is.
yesterday.
Madam Vice
Come
President.
on, Madam Vice President.
President,
She
yes.
wore black designers yesterday, and I was so excited about this because we have a lot of black designers that don't get their due. And yesterday she wore Christopher John, which is from Louisiana, and Sergio Hudson. So she looked beautiful in her cobalt blue, almost kind of mixed with purple. I don't know, because it looked cobalt blue, then it looked purple.
It's purple.
But anyway, it was purple.
Yeah.
Was it purple?
It looked cobalt blue to me.
purple, yeah,
And then I'm excited she did that, but we're going to move on. We have something fun today. We have Rate the Look, because those ladies
favorite.
gave us fashion, and more fashion, and Monochromatic won yesterday, honey.
It did.
It won. I mean, every stylist got the memo. One color, baby, pick one. And they did that. All right, so we're going to move on to our first Rate the Look.
Okay.
We have Miss Michelle Obama, the forever first lady. I'm not going to get too excited. I ain't going to talk too loud. So they're going to rate while everybody is doing that. And listen, she had on Sergio as well. And Sergio is a black designer, and he did awesome. So everybody reveal their thing. One, look, LaJelle is still right. Look. All right, Kaya said 10. I said 100 with a smiling face. She said 10 with a heart, and Giselle has a 10 as well. Oh, Sergio did well. All right, we're going to move on to our next one. Dr. Biden.
Oh, honey.
Dr. Biden looked awesome. And what I love about Dr. Biden, if you've seen her, she always has her mask to match her look.
Yes.
And she told her granddaughters and her daughter yesterday that you all need to make sure that your stylists match your mask. Let's go. And she was wearing Alexandria O'Neill. Oh my God, we got all 10s today.
Yeah,
I'm in 100. I'm in 100.
Yes.
She looked beautiful.
Yes.
All righty. Next we have J-Lo from the Bronx.
Duh.
Duh. And she sang her melody of whatever that song was.
She can never do wrong.
She did that. But let me tell
Patsy.
you, with her, where she decided to wear white is because of the women's suffrage. She kind of pulled up Shirley Chisholm as well. So she was paying homage to a lot of people. And I appreciate that
Giselle
she
is
did that.
A lot of
1,000?
people watch
Well, let me see, 1,000?
She loves J-Lo.
She loves J-Lo. I love her too, but I don't love her 1,000. You see how I bumped down to a 10. Y'all saw that?
1,000.
Oh, let me get my
All
You see, I
right.
went from 100 to a 10. All righty, we're going to go with our next one. Miss Lady Gaga. You know, she had to break up things a little bit, but you know, that's Lady Gaga. We love her. She is wearing a custom Schiaparelli. It was designed by Daniel
You didn't rate
Roseberry.
her.
Oh, I didn't rate her. Let me see what I'm going to give her. I guess I'll give her a 10 as well. She could barely get in and out that dress.
Oh, I'm
But
a
did y'all see that
hater.
big old Mockingjay?
I am
Maybe
a
I should have
hater.
given her 7 because that bird on her
She
lapel.
says it's a
Listen.
dove.
Oh, a
this
dove.
Is
A dove.
extending an olive branch. I think she was doing that for Donald Trump. I should
Listen.
Well,
say.
he's gone now. 45 is out the way,
Lady-
girl. We didn't
I-
worry
I'm
about
gonna-
him.
I don't know if this is a million. I think this is a million.
Let me see. You know
For
what?
Lady Gaga.
Oh my God.
I'll give it. Let me
She's
tell you
doing that for the
something.
culture.
Because let me tell you something. People are afraid of fashion.
Yeah.
Yes, she
And
is
this
not.
was the broad daylight at 10 o'clock in the morning, and she was in full geesh.
Down.
This is what you
Yes.
call geesh. She
Oh,
was in,
that's what that-
She was in her full geesh, and like this
She
was
looks
just
amazing.
What that
fashion
mean?
for me. It was fashion. She takes fashion risks. She doesn't do what she steps out of the norm. She was in a ball gown.
Yeah.
She was in a ball gown
Lord.
At 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
She sounded amazing.
She sounded amazing, like-
Yeah. She
The
sounded
sound, I'll give her a 10.
Do you
for
not
what?
see that?
sound.
Like,
I
it
do.
was just-
Listen, we talked about her. She
Fashion.
take risks.
She does.
And you know, she helped discover that other young man that we were
From
talking about from
Germany,
Germany.
yes.
From
I know that she take risks, but her voice wins all
she
for
killed
me.
it.
Yeah.
She
I don't
killed
care if she
it.
wear meat, but when she open her mouth, you're like, ooh, that girl can sing,
Yeah,
honey.
she can.
She
But
did.
Alrighty.
that ball gown was everything.
We're gonna move on to Kamala's stepdaughter, which is Ella.
Ella
Oh, we
wore
got
a Miu
Ella?
Miu.
Ella
winner.
wore Miu Miu.
I didn't really like Ella's outfit.
The only thing I liked was Ella's jacket. I did like that jacket. So
did
that was
too.
the only thing. So I'm gonna give Ella an 8.
I'll
Yeah.
give Ella.
She got a
I'll give
7
Ella
from
a
me.
9.
I
I'm
wasn't
gonna give
crazy
Ella
about
an 8,
it.
and the reason I'm giving Ella, the winner.
The
Oh my
winner.
God. I cannot with Giselle. All
I
right.
thought she was going to say
She gets
Lady
a
Gaga
7.
is
Was
the
the
winner because
winner.
she was a million.
All right, let's
okay.
go to our next one. I cannot with Giselle. Giselle say the winner. All righty. So the grandchildren of Joe Biden, well, President Biden, and the daughters, they all look well. So
Yes.
I'm going to give them a 10
I will, too.
collectively. Oh, I should write it here. I'm going to give them a 10 collectively because everybody did it, and yesterday they look marvelous.
They
So
look
I'm-
royal.
royal.
They did.
Yes.
Yes.
I just get a whole yes.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite was Finnegan Biden. She was wearing Finnegan.
You didn't have anything else?
Oh, she didn't have anything.
I'm not gonna write anything because I'm gonna talk about Finnegan. I really like Finnegan's camel wool suit that she wore. It was by Brandon Maxwell.
I love Brandon.
The coat was like $3,000. The dress under it was
we
about
even found the
20.
price.
Yeah, and I found the whole
Well, it's
thing.
not because Brandon Maxwell is
'Cause you
very
gonna
popular.
get
And it's actually on sale now, believe it or not.
Stop, where?
Listen, these ladies, are talking about all this stuff. We don't have time, but I'm so excited that they're excited about Style Check. I'm excited they're excited
Yes,
about
but
Style
we
Check,
didn't
but we
get to the
gotta
vice
go.
president.
Yes.
I know, but we gotta go. We gotta go. We'll be
just
right
gotta
back.
go.
Maybe we'll continue this tomorrow. Because they talking a lot. But I love it though. We'll be right back.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back to our favorite segment of the show, the mind, body, and soul. Come on, Giselle, you have to catch up to speed. This is our favorite, and today we are talking about why it is important for you to follow a lookalike or an influencer who looks like you. I was talking to the ladies earlier, and they're arguing with me. I said, I don't follow anyone who looks like me, but if you talk about maybe business aspects or fashion aspects, maybe. But I'm not into influencers because, and here's the thing, I respect their grind, I respect what they do, but sometimes I've seen so many times actually that these influencers are not living a very authentic life. And sometimes if you really want to follow, you might follow a blind person, right? So I decided, you know what? I like your style. I'm going to follow you because I like your style. I like what you do, and I'm going to, do whatever. I'm going to pick up some things. I like your makeup. I'm going to follow your makeup. I like the way you do
Yeah.
stocks. I'm going to, So that's me.
Yeah.
But I respect
Yeah.
everybody's grind.
I don't follow an influencer either. I don't have anyone that I go to and look at. Now, I do follow hashtags. Like some people have not hashtags, the comments, because I'm bad at that. But an influencer, I really don't follow. I don't follow anyone.
I think it's interesting how we take different perspectives from
Yeah.
the question. Because for me, what I took from the question is follow people that look like you, that's in your tribe. For example, I don't think black women or darker complected black women should want to look like someone like Kim Kardashian or someone like that, or want their hair like that. I think you should look for someone that's in your tribe, like myself. I look at individuals like Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks and Heather Headley and Brandy. These different women that are in my tribe, I look for inspiration from them. I'm not going to try to wear my hair like this Caucasian woman when my hair texture isn't
It's
like
different,
that.
right.
So
Yeah.
that's what I
like
look to
that
from the
info.
question when I
You
say
put a new perspective on
from-
it.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
that's
did.
important.
Yeah, so I look
yeah.
at women that are in my tribe. My mom, you know, I look like my mother. So I look at my mom and her style and things like
She's
that.
a mama is on Instagram.
My mom is on Instagram. My mom
Well,
is
see,
on-
and that's what I took. That's why I took the question as well.
Okay,
I took the
I took
question
it as-
Candace and I took it
We took it
different.
I took it
different.
like
Yeah.
Giselle, because that's why we were on you. You said, you was like, you don't have anybody? Because I'm in the fashion world.
Right.
So I follow a lot of fashion houses and I follow a lot of black boutiques as well. Because you all know I come in, I say, oh, you need to try this person.
Right.
Oh, I got these pants from this black designer. And I find them on the Instagram.
Yeah.
And you know, and in my business as well, I do different things as home organization. So I find other companies
Right.
that are doing that because you know
Okay.
what? I may have something that's really, really trying that I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know how I'm going to tackle this. But I can go on my Instagram and say, you know what? I follow this lady that does the same
Right.
thing that I do. Let me see if she's done
A
garage
similar
or if
look.
she's done something similar to
Yeah.
what I am doing right now. So that's what I think.
Okay.
When I go as
Follow-
far as
follow your
influencers
tribe.
and follow
That
my
makes
tribe.
sense.
Yeah.
But
That
That's
makes
what I'm
sense.
thinking.
This
That's
is
what
a
I'm thinking.
Jamaican
This is
girl
different,
and an
an
African
African-
girl. We analyze things differently.
Very different.
I was
We
confused.
take it, we take it to a whole nother
We dissect
level.
the question
Yeah.
and go
Yeah.
That's what I was
underneath
thinking.
and
I was like,
over.
what?
Because when you said, when I saw influencer, I kept thinking of the fashion influencers and that type of thing.
No, I
you're-
wasn't thinking it that
so
way.
someone that you follow, like for inspiration, you know, they have the inspirational quotes.
Yes.
That's also considered.
Yeah, I think so.
So then I do
Sometimes.
that.
Well, see, in
Yeah.
that case, then I
Then
would take
yeah.
Kaya's perspective. I don't really look to people
For that,
for
for
that
those
type
things.
of.
Yeah.
You know, I look to myself and my faith, for
Yeah.
those type of beliefs and
No, I follow quite a few pastors. That's what I mean by influencers. Not someone who can,
Okay, yeah.
not someone who's gonna tell me what to do, but that.
Yeah.
So my feed is filled with the positivity. It's not filled with the fashion or anything.
Okay,
so when I
yeah.
heard
Oh,
influencer, I'm thinking about what my feed looks
Well,
like.
my feed is filled with the fashion.
Yeah.
My feed
Now,
is filled
now
with
in
the
business,
and it's
business,
the
business.
boutiques.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what my feed is filled with.
Now,
Got
if I did have to think of someone that was like an influencer as far as like spirituality
Yeah.
and health, I would say someone like Tabitha Brown. Now,
Yes.
Oh, because Tabitha does
Yeah,
everything.
now
She does.
she's someone that's
You
kind of
love
like,
Tabitha.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
Tabitha.
I like her too.
I like
Yeah,
her.
I
I
like
thought
Tabitha.
you
She's
were
come
going to
so
say
far.
Paula White.
'Cause that's
I
her
was
business.
looking at you like. But anywho,
That's another
This
situation.
girl right
I'm
here.
telling you.
Is she still
We
preaching?
don't. She calling on your angels.
She called on African angels. I don't know if she's
Yeah,
still
she
preaching. I
did.
mean, considering,
Yeah, she did.
We'll have to play the
considering
video.
Donald Trump is not the president, I
She
don't
wanted
know.
follow
the
Paula?
African.
No,
I
she was making a
unfollowed
joke.
her a long
I
time
went to
ago.
her church a few times before.
You
And your
walked in the
face. You walk
church?
out.
Well, it's here. It's
Yeah, I know,
it's
but
her-
you walk
I
out.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
I
anyway,
was-
let's stick to
Yeah,
the
we can stick to
Yeah, yeah.
No, if you guys
Yeah.
put it like that, then I have people that I like, you know, because I love fashion and I love, you know, stocks. I love all these things when it comes to the money, you know,
Yeah.
money markets and all that. So I have people that I follow that inspire me to
Right.
do better. And, you know,
Yes.
as a boutique
that,
owner, I have, you know, boutiques that I follow because you want to see what's trending
Yeah.
and you want to see what other people are selling. So I do have those type of people. But the overnight influencers, I'm on Candace's page where somebody just wakes up and today I'm an influencer.
And you're following.
And they're telling you to eat flour and they're not eating flour. You're going to get
Yeah.
skinny. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. I told you guys about my thing with YouTube where to the point where I was using everything in the kitchen and I said, hold up. This is just getting out of hand. I'm putting everything in my kitchen, on my hair, on my face, on my, you know, so you just
were
have to be careful.
influenced. You were influenced by that, so you do.
That
follow.
was then when I was younger.
Oh,
but
okay,
the
but I'm
older
just saying
I
that
get,
with
the
you
wiser I
influenced that.
am.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's true.
influenced by that anymore.
Yeah.
And if you,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry, real quick, if you remember, you said something about them being thieves and stuff. Well, not really thieves, but remember not too long ago, there was a huge influencer too that was actually stealing clothes. Clothes. Do you remember that? And she's actually in jail right now.
Oh,
So I think, yeah,
She was a booster.
She was boosting.
Well, that's her
she was
business.
boosting and putting it on social media. She
So
had
she was
hundreds of
selling clothes to be
she-
an influencer. You see the
Yes.
pressure that it puts
So
on
see,
you.
yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
immaturity.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't think
But there's
there's
a
any problem because you
few.
got to think. Giselle probably has some people that follow her
I follow
because she
Giselle.
follow Giselle.
No, I'm just saying before.
I follow all of y'all.
But I'm just saying before that influence. You probably have people that follow you because
Yeah.
they're influenced by you, and the same as you as well.
Yeah.
And and for me too, like when I
Yeah.
post little stuff about organization, listen, you never know who's watching you.
That's
Because
true.
I had somebody text me and said, listen, I saw that work that you did virtually.
Yeah.
They sent me a picture of their closet say, I'm working on it, but I'm
Yeah.
just going from your guidance, what I'm seeing you on social media. So that's what, I think that's what we were saying when it means influence.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like you all too. I don't follow everybody because people lie.
Oh my God.
And you look pretty on the Instagram, but what about when you have a heartache? You don't
Dying
share that.
inside,
Yeah,
You
but
need to share all of it.
For me, more importantly, it just helped me with just like self reassurance in who I am and being able to appreciate myself as a person of color. Because we see a lot of times the light is shined on people that aren't darker complected or
That don't look like
African-American.
us.
And so there are a lot of young women out there, young trans women out there that look to these celebrities and desire these certain these certain figures and different looks, and they don't know how to appreciate what they have
Yeah. What
you
and what
have,
their culture, the beauty of their culture. So it's very important to look and to lean on people that are, like I said, once again, that are in your tribe to look and see, oh my gosh, I can do this with my hair. Oh, our hair does this. Oh, makeup looks like that on us. Oh, I can wear this shade of lipstick.
Yes.
Yeah.
The same way
that's
that
good.
this
It's
lighter person
inspiring.
can wear, but we have to wear it this way.
Yeah.
Or wear it with this color hair. There's just so
Right.
many different ways to look at the question, but that's just how I choose.
Yeah,
to,
no, that's what I thought too. So
Yeah.
I was for sure on you on that
No,
one.
if you say it like that, it really makes a lot of sense.
And I like you both of you all's perspective as well.
Yeah, me too.
Because influencers are either positive or negative.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to be careful with who you follow
Who,
and what
yeah.
you are following because
Yes.
sometimes that person is leading you blindly. We'll be right back after the break.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Mason.
Thank you.
Finally found a place to make my own, a place that I call home, this place that I call home.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back to our Girlfriend's Guide, and we asked the question, is it important to still go on dates even if you've been with somebody for a long time? I say yes. I've always talked about marriage or relationships are like a garden. You have to tend to it because if you don't, you're going to have some weeds grow in it. And once they grow, they cover whatever is beautiful. If you're growing a rose and you have all these weeds intertwining in your love, your relationship, it is going to die. So you have to keep on going on dates. You have to keep doing what brings the fire in your relationship because it is very important, and people don't understand that. Because when you become complacent, that's when everything dies.
That is so true.
So true.
Date your husband, date your fiance.
Yeah, I think it's crucial. In my first marriage, we stopped dating. we stop connecting. And when you stop connecting, you get that wedge between you. And once that wedge is there, it continues to grow and it grows and it grows. And it makes it harder to come back to common ground. So I know for me, it's important. We have our date night. Even though we're a young couple, we still have our date night. That is our time. But it's not just having the pre-planned. Do something exciting. You know, change it up. Have something ready for your spouse when they get home. So you still got to have the fun. Don't get settled, you know? Have fun with it.
Yeah, complacency is bad. You know, what you do, complacency, it just ruins your tomorrow and it ruins your future. Trust me, been there, done that. And I think it's important as a couple, even when you have children, because sometimes when people have children, they put their children first, and it doesn't supposed to go that way. It's supposed to be God and your spouse, and then your children come behind because they always gonna want something. So I think, no, they are. They always gonna want something.
Yeah.
So I do believe as a couple, it doesn't matter if you're newlywed, 5 years in, 7 years in, 15 years in, that you need to make time for each other, and you need to do things that are spontaneous.
You do.
Because I don't always want to be penciled in.
No.
Like, oh, we're gonna go on a date on this day, this time. Why can't I come home on Friday and you're like, girl, get your bag? I'm like, well, where are we going? And he's
just
like,
have a
surprise.
Well,
You know, I don't know. I think sometimes we should just do things spontaneous.
Well, you know, on this topic here, I'm kind of, y'all are schooling me
Oh.
because I am the one that I've never been married. But I think dating is, it's the little nuances that mean so much. I've been on 5-minute dates where it's just you go and see each other for 5 minutes, have a little chat, and I think that means so much, and that sticks with you the most. You know, I like little things like that. So yeah, I'm just taking it all in from you all.
Taking it all
I
in.
want to learn something.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not marriage. It's
It's
even
dating
relationship.
too.
Everything.
When you're dating
Relationship.
somebody, you have to keep dating them because the dates are what keeps you stronger, keeps you going. And you have to keep the fire going because when the fire dies, sometimes it's hard to rekindle because you have lost this person a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you know, that's when you talk to somebody and they are not there. They're in your presence physically, but they are not there emotionally.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to keep stimulating that
Yeah,
person.
and it doesn't die either, too, because that made me think about my grandmother. My grandmother is almost 95 years old, and she still has a desire to date.
Oh.
She tells my mom all the time, oh, I just want one of the little guys, deacons from church to come, and I just want to cook for him. You know, she just, because my grandfather has been passed for years now,
Okay.
before I
Wants
was
that
even born.
companionship.
She wants companionship, so it doesn't die. Even with her being her age, she still has that fire and desire.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. I
It
want to
is.
be like that, but I want that companion with me. Like I said, that second husband is coming. I'm professing him, you know.
I can't wait to meet him.
Oh, I can't wait to meet him either.
It's got to be a
I
strong
say,
man.
I already said he's
Giselle.
there. He's
Y'all
already
see how-
there.
Y'all see
That's
how
going to
Giselle
be a
throw-
strong man.
yeah.
Y'all see how
Giselle.
Giselle throwing shade on me?
there.
I'm like, he
This is-
got to be a strong
This is a
man.
tough cookie, y'all.
I am a little bit, but I'm loving too, though, and I'm caring
yeah.
too, and I want
Yeah.
to do. And you learn from your, like you said, you haven't been married. I was married for 16 years, a long time, and it was to my high school sweetheart.
Wow.
So I've known him for over half of my life, and that's what happens when you don't. When you take things for granted,
Yeah.
when you don't date each other, when
I
you
agree.
don't communicate, things fizzle.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to a certain point, 3, 4, 5 years, you're like, well, how do we get here? Oh, it
Yeah.
happened. It started happening
long
4
time
years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get to that point. So now I know things that I shouldn't do. Now I know what I
things
need to
that you
do better.
should
Because
do.
when you know better, you do better. And I am
Yeah.
going to do better. But like I said, he's a wonderful person, the
Yeah.
father of my children.
So
Yeah.
speaking of dating, like if he, even though I know you're divorced, but if he were to ask you on a date, would you go?
Oh.
I wanted to
Oh, we
ask that
went- we
question.
went-
yeah,
we want to hear.
He's asked me on some dates before, and the answer is no.
Why? I thought
Because-
you say things are
He's
good
not.
between you.
We don't have to co-parent that much anymore because our daughter's 21 and our son is 18. So we have to do a little co-parenting with
Yeah.
him because of financially, because he's in college, you know. But no, I don't want to. It's just so much into that. I'm done.
She's done.
I'm done.
She's
done.
done.
It just,
Done.
and I've moved on, but we do communicate. Kaya's heard me on the phone with him before.
Yeah.
Candice has heard me on the phone with him before. We don't argue, we don't fuss, and we don't do
It's
any of
good.
that. We're at a good place now. It's taken us a long time
To get
to
there.
to a good
There.
place. Trust me. But it's okay. No, let him go and move on and find someone else that's going to be a good fit for him.
Yeah.
I'm not her.
You know, I think
So
I think it's important too. Like a lot of times we think about dating and love in a relationship is important, but you also have to like the person. If you don't like the person, it won't last. I think we have to define what love is and what like is. Love, you don't fall out of love. There's no such thing, right? Because if I love you and you have an emergency, I'm coming to your aid.
Yeah, I'll help him.
If I can love you and not like you, and I'm not liking you means I don't want to be around you. I don't want to spend time with you. I can only take you for a certain amount of time, and I'm like, okay, bye. So when you go on a date, that's when you develop the like.
Yeah.
And the like is crucial
Yeah.
because the like is what's going to keep you together, and the like is what's going to help you keep sharing time with each other and doing new things. I like you. I just want to be up under you.
Yeah.
That's not love. That's going to
that's
be
smothering.
like. It's like no.
oh goodness.
And I think
No.
I think one
Giselle.
piece of advice I have is dating begins with you. You have to date
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
you
I
have
love
to
dating
love
myself.
yourself.
Oh yeah.
And
Take
you
yourself
yeah.
off. Yeah, she
Oh
takes
yeah.
herself
No, I
for a
love going
date.
to the crab restaurant by
Giselle.
myself.
Oh, that's my favorite.
No, but
To take
here's
myself
the
out to
thing.
eat.
You have to date yourself, because when you date yourself,
Right it on
the
the wall.
person who comes in your life is going to know how to date you. With
Yeah.
me, before when I met my husband, I was into dating myself. I love myself so much to the point where I would dress up, have my makeup done, get in my car, and go on a date. I would sit at a restaurant and somebody would come and say, "Is somebody coming?" No, table for one. You know what I mean? And I'll sit there, have my dinner, and I will have conversations with myself. I talk to my, not that loud, Giselle, not that loud.
Hey, cup, girl.
Not that loud, not that loud,
kind of
Giselle. But I would
conversation?
talk to myself
no,
and set the light.
No, you just took it too far.
No,
no,
like I say, I'm
Kaya.
not
You act like
speaking
you on the
out.
phone.
Kaya.
No.
I know we're talking about
In my head.
dating yourself.
In your
In my head, I'm
So you were
having a
manifesting the conversation.
in my head, to where I'm talking and I say, you know what? The next person who's going to come will have to walk these shoes, because if they don't walk these shoes, I'm not a sit-at-home girl. I'm not a girl who's going to do mediocre. But I'm not sitting at the table, Giselle, and say, you know what, Kaya?
Kaya, you look nice
what was
today.
like-
Thank you, Kaya.
No,
Kaya, what do you want to drink? I would like a Sprite.
no, Giselle, that's insane.
that's what
But you know what? That reminds me of not losing yourself.
Oh, I'm doing my
Yeah.
best to not
My
laugh so
husband
loud.
is allergic to seafood, right? He's allergic to seafood. I love seafood.
Oh, you do. Ooh,
So
that's
I
bad.
sit down and I crack the crab and I'll go by myself. I have to, but I love that. You know what I mean? So if your spouse or your significant other doesn't like to do something you like to do, you still need to
do
go.
it. Do
Because
it.
you
Do
can't
not
lose
stop.
yourself.
You
in it.
can't.
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
and
You
the
can't
person
Yes, you
has to
can.
understand as well. I saw you loving seafood. Just because I'm allergic to it
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't eat seafood.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
unfair.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a lot. It's jam packed, but I do think you still should date.
Yes.
Yeah.
You still should date. I mean, go on some good ones too. Listen, go to that fancy hotel, girl. Let them have it.
Yeah.
But that's
But don't talk to
I was gonna
yourself
say.
like Giselle was thinking. I do not talk to myself. I just date myself. Well, that's all we have for today's show. I hope you join us back on Monday, channel 1623, same place, same time. We love you all and have a good weekend.